Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and we're looking at the Sunny Days Meets Vintage Part 2 or Attempt 2. Oh my goodness folks, we have much to go over. Okay, here's a funny thing I learned about myself. I had no problem with the elements of making, like I'll go over it with you with each one because they're all really different. But for instance, like this one, I tea stained this bag. And then I don't know if you can see on camera, but I pearlized the back so you could see all the crinkles in the light. I apologize, my camera's just not good quality. I need a new laptop. Okay, so I pearlized this one and I tea stained it. And then on the front of this one, oh, this one is so complicated to explain. Okay, so on the front of this one, I cut out this amazing image of this woman at the Dead Sea covered in mud from 1968. And I layered that with more vintage Hebrew writing. And then I put, I bought parchment in strips here. They come in packs of 50. By the way, the parchment here is really good quality and can take, oh my goodness, you can be rough with it. I want to show you. Like, I want to show you how rough you can be with this. Hold on for 1 second. Folks, look at this. The parchment here is such good quality. Like, I tea stained this, I pearlized it, then I painted on it. OMG, I wish I could bring back their parchment because one, it's really inexpensive, the 50 sheets, and by the way, they're huge, were $3 or less than that, maybe $2.50. And look at it. Oh my God, you can make envelopes out of this. Oh, if you make junk journals, this would make you crazy. But, or if you're any kind of shabby or vintage maker, oh. Anyway, so that's a strip of that, what you just saw. There, this is one strip cut in there, along with the Hebrew writing from the vintage magazine that I bought, and this image, and then this is a piece of ephemera from the Sunny Days collection, and I tea stained it, and then I distressed it, both with ink and with actual distressing, like with a knife kind of thing, and then I blurred, the writing was still too stark, even after I tea stained it. I wanted a little bit of the pink, but I didn't want the black to be so vibrant because it looked too new even after I tea stained it, and the pink also looked too new. So I played around with pearlizing until I could dull it just enough that it was legible, but it looked aged, and I really like how that turned out. Versus this piece of Sunny Days ephemera, which I knew I was going to want to use because it says, when you stop and look around, life is pretty amazing. And I loved it because it had the pink, and I knew there was going to be pink in this one. So I loved it, but also it distressed and vintaged so well. So do you see what I mean by how well the Sunny Days matches this whole vintage? Okay. So that's I distressed this, I tea stained it, I then distressed the edges with the Tim Holtz Distress in vintage photo. I did a little glittering up over the words. I layered some of that lace that I had dyed on the bottom, and I dyed that with tea. I added a little flower, not a Maggie Holmes flower though, it is a Tim Holtz flower, but that's because I liked it the best out of all the ones I put there. This is one of those amazing rosettes, and I adhered it very, very carefully because I want if the person I'm saying this to, if they want to take it off. And then I took a paper doily, and I tea stained it, and then I pink pearlized it, which took quite a bit of time, but I got it done. And then I just added a couple of these flowers, and that is the first one, folks. So let's look again at my first attempt, okay? And believe me, I went back and distressed the edges, and I made it more interesting. First attempt, okay. This is where we have now gone. But here's what I learned about myself. So when I was doing the pearlizing of the bags and the tea staining and all the sort of technical stuff we need to do to prep the space for layering, no problem. When I started to decorate, I realized that I have to think about who I'm making it for in order to be able to do this. So when I was making this one, I thought a lot about my shabby friends. So like Sabrina was the inspiration for this one, right? Sabrina and Miss Ida, but more Sabrina because she likes kind of like, how do I say this? She likes kind of weird, quirky, vintage shabby. Like, she doesn't mind if they're a little scary, and I love this woman, but look at her expression, folks. She's definitely like a little weird. So I definitely had Sabrina in mind when I did this one. So that really helped me. Like the second I realized when I make, I do really well if I think about the person I'm making for or the style, then it's no problem. So all of a sudden I knew exactly what to do when I did this one. So this is number 1. Are you ready? Number 2. Number 2 is for my clean creators. So that's like my clean, precise creators. Okay, so that's the Cathys of the world, Katzelcreate. It's for the Carmen Gorises of the world. It's for the Alishas of the world. It's for the Lilies of the world from Crafting with Liller. That's who this one is designed for. And clearly, folks, I will never be a clean creator because this is as clean as I could get it, keeping all of you in mind. I swear to you, this is it. So let me show you what I did to this one. Very different process. So this one I tea stained it, I pearlized it, then I double distress patinaed it on the back. So it's got turquoise and it's got vintage photo play. It actually looks much nicer in person than it's looking on the screen. But that could just be my camera, who knows. Okay, now here's the sad thing. I used that really expensive lace on this one and it lays over, look, all you can see is this little edge of it because I covered it up. So I used that really amazing, expensive, thin, silky lace with the gold and it lays down perfectly. Like I have never seen lace become part of paper before, but this one did. And I loved the effect. But look, folks, you can just see a little bit of it there. That's it. Because I covered it. I mean, what's crazy about vintaging is kind of what's crazy about shabbying. You put layer after layer after layer, and then you cover it up. So, like, yes, it peeks through. Yes, it gives texture. Yes, it's amazing. However, it's a little sad that we cover up all that amazing lace, all that really cool lace. But maybe not so sad. Okay, so there's the vintage lace. And then there's this really great distressed paper, and that I coffee stained. And you can see the difference, folks. I didn't tea stain it, I coffee stained it, and then I distressed the edges with vintage photo from Tim Holtz. I only have 2 distressing inks with me. Thank goodness I thought ahead about this. I brought the vintage photo and I brought a turquoise because I thought that it would go really well, like a mint greeny turquoise. Thank God I brought those 2. Because they don't sell them here, it turns out. I thought they would. We'll talk about that at the end of the thing, but they don't. I've checked somewhere because I wanted to have a different color to go with this, and they don't have them here. Not even at the best art stores. So I thank goodness I brought those 2. So I did distress the edges after I coffee stained it. This is a photograph that I hauled in that vintage haul. This is a piece of Maggie Holmes ephemera. This is a piece of Maggie Holmes ephemera. Now I tea stained both of these. This one I patinaed using a technique that Lily Crafting with Liller showed us ages ago, and look how great that turned out. So great. And this is a Sunny Days ephemera propped up on a foam dot. And then this one I tea stained, then I distressed both, again, like with a knife and also with ink. And then there's also tucked behind here, look at my hands, guys. I'm the messiest maker, I swear to you. So messy. Okay, and I've washed my hands. So this is crazy. Like, look, I've washed my hands and it still looks like this. Okay, so there is those little heart trim that I hauled for like 50 cents or 75 cents. I tea stained that and it's peeking out. And then I attached one of these little flowers that matches the patinaed, and it's sun-kissed and it says life is lovely. So this is for my clean creators. Oh, and down here I pearlized and I did some patinaing. So that is for my clean creators, and this is number 2. All right, so the last one is really inspired by, I guess, the woman I think of when I think of maybe the best vintage maker. I don't know if it's the best vintage maker online. Just for me, she's my vintage spirit animal. How about that? And that's Eva, who's from Bohemian Crafting. And if you don't know her, I'm going to put her link below. But she makes something called post office grunge journals, or post office grunge ephemera. And by the way, that's an invented name because I've checked online and that's not what it's called. That's Eva's term for it. Folks, if you don't know her work, holy cow. Her books are the most beautiful things I have ever seen. Like, the most beautiful. So I thought about all of her books and why I love them and what it is I love about them. And specifically, like, all of her stuff is amazing, but specifically her post office grunge stuff I love. So I took a careful look at her, I replayed her videos that I've watched many times, and then I created this for myself. So this is like my aesthetic. So versus like number 1, which is Shabby Vintage, number 2, which is Alisha's attempt at clean vintage, and then there's number 3, which is really Alisha's aesthetic. So it says Falling in Love with This Place, which is from the Sunny Days collection, but I cut it out, fussy cut it, then I tea stained it, then I distressed it, both with ink and again with a knife. Back here is a postcard from the Sunny Days collection, but I not only tea stained it and distressed it, but I pearlized it to age it. And then there's another piece back here that's been completely, like, I know it's kind of like sacrilege, right? I destroyed a whole bunch of the ephemera to make it look like this, but I love it now. Now I love Sunny Days. You know, Miss Alvarez is right. I have to post this on Instagram and thank her. Now I love Sunny Days because I love it like this. I don't love it in its original iteration. Okay, so over here is that vintage Hebrew paper, and I tore several strips and I layered it, and then I patinaed and did like walnut staining and patina, and then I made this like super dimensional paper. Do you see what I did here? Like, it's super texturized. Look at that, right? This is what I'm most proud of, actually, I think, because this was not easy to do well, and I was able to do it, and it really is amazing. And then I distressed it, I tea stained it, I distressed it. You can see that, and then I distressed inked it, and then I added a little flower here, and I added one of the Sunny Days flowers, and I added some sequins, and then I patinaed at the bottom, and I added a little one of those flowers that I hauled. And then I did also on the back, on this one, I tea and coffee stained with shadowing, and then I went over it with the Tim Holtz photo distresser. So this is my style. And so this is option 3. Option 2 was Alisha's attempt at clean creating. And option 1 is Shabby Vintage. So folks, I need your feedback. I didn't add jemmies. I did go haul jemmies for myself when I got Amber's pack, but I didn't want to add any. Now, I wish I'd brought my stickles. As you know, I only own 3, but I actually own like the vintage Art Deco set, and I was dying for them today. And again, they don't sell them here. I can order them from that new store that's kind of like Ali, but it's from India. They do have something similar, but I don't know how long it'll take to get here. Is it worth it? If I'd had stickles, I would have used them on a couple of these, mine in particular, and maybe the clean one a little bit. Although I shouldn't be using it on the clean one so much, but of course I would have. So folks, give me some feedback. I didn't want to add jemmies. Does one need jemmies? What else does one need? What could have been better about one? What could I have done better? Do you like it? Is it better? What are your thoughts? Number 2, Alisha's attempt at clean creation. Oh, please, clean creators comment, because we all know I can't be a clean creator. Look at my fingers. Of course I can't be. I still have glue attached. I am not a clean creator, folks, clearly. But I tried my best for all of you. This is option 2. What would you have done differently? I don't want to add charms. I'll tell you why. I did not buy the best. I thought about it, and I have vintage charms that would look great with these. But I didn't buy the best quality glassine bags, and I've learned a lesson, folks. I bought them in Hobby Lobby. I didn't know anything about glassine bags. I will not buy these ones again. Let me just say that when I did the tea staining, I ripped a bunch of bags. I'm not the most gentle maker, but like I have never ripped anything, not even my lace doilies when I tea stain them. So you explain why so many of these are ripped, because they're crappy quality, that's why. And next time I get glassine bags, I'm going to be more picky. So I didn't want to pierce and add a charm because I don't have triple thick to make this better quality glassine. Oh, did I miss my triple thick while making these? So many times I thought, oh, if I just had triple thick, but I don't. And they don't have it here, folks. I will say that the special metallic pearlizing paint I'm using by Deco Art is giving it a little bit of that triple thick quality and making it slightly better, but I can't do all of it like that, and it's not doing it well enough. If I had triple thick, I could have pierced this and put a charm, and maybe I could pierce a photograph and get away with it, but I'm scared the bags will rip. So what else could I have done, or what can I do to better this? Does it need a gemmy or two? Maybe I'm just anti-gemmy. I mean, clearly I don't own many. I think I'm just not a bling person. So if it needs gemmies, tell me. What does it need? Clean creators, tell me. This is number 2, and then there's mine, which is number 3. And this one I love. I love. I know it has less color, which is weird for me, right? Because I'm all about color. And I know I could have added more balance with the color, but I just love this. You know, postcards, writing, texturized paper. This is me. This is me. So Still though, don't be afraid to say like, hey Alisha, have you thought about doing this? Or hey, have you thought about doing this? And let me know which one you like. So let me know if you like 1, Shabby Vintage, inspired by Miss Sabrina, Kaye, Country Crafter. Number 2, inspired by Crafting with Liller, Carmen, Goris, Kathy, and Alisha from Lovelettergeneration. And Toni at craftpurge too. Or if you're number 3, Alisha style and the Bohemian crafting style, or what I hope to one day be the Bohemian crafting style. Let me know which one you like and what I can do to better these folks. Again, thank you so much for your help. This couldn't have happened without you. So, what do you think, folks? Are we getting closer? One more round and we're there? Sunny Days meets Vintage, a happy crafty marriage. Take care, folks. Have a great day. If you like these, give the video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Thanks so much. Bye for now.